Round 7 of the iGP Manager AOR League was in Turkey for another dry race with cool temperatures. 3 of the teams were starting on the mediums, including championship leader Nicolas Morales, while the majority of the grid opted for the softs in qualifying, and 4 of the top 5 were on the super softs for the start. By the end of lap 5, and while Autosport was losing a position in the DRS zone, they were still running in the points higher than we'd seen before, and 3 of the super soft runners came into the pits that lap without much of a gap to the leading soft runners. End of lap 9, and the current leader of Sutton was into the pits, looking like he was on for a 2-stop strategy as he fitted a set of medium compound tires, while Cabanes, Cordier, and Dimier continued for a 10th lap on the softs they started on. By the end of lap 14, Autosport were down in 11th position, but that would become 10th after Thomas made his pit stop, and they had closed up to the back of Cordier and Dimier and seemed to have some good pace as the new leader of Peter Mann pitted for his second stop and fit another set of softs. On lap 16, Cesar Navarro was out on a set of mediums, which could go until the end of the race, but the heavy fuel and harder compound made him a sitting duck to both Dimier and Autosport, who relegated him to P10. Lap 20, and Peter Mann made the overtake on Cabanes, who was coming into the pits that lap, as was the race leader of Sutton, both of them coming out on a set of softs for their final stint. Lap 25, and the 2-stopping Cesar Navarro was now on very old mediums, while the leading 3-stopper of Peter Mann was closing fast, and with Cabanes not far behind. Peter made the overtake easily with DRS, and Sutton was now his next target, but the American had an over 4-second gap and still had boost remaining. By lap 27, Cabanes had also managed to overtake the struggling Cesar Navarro, while the focus was on a very tight battle for 7th position as the one-stopping Daniel Thomas tried his best to defend from the soft runners behind. By the penultimate lap, the managers with boost remaining were frantically deploying it in an effort to attack or defend as the case might be, but by the end of the DRS zone it was Thomas who was still leading the train of cars battling for 7th. As the final lap started, all of the soft runners had used pretty much all of their boost, while Thomas still had a bit to defend with, which he deployed out of turn 7 and again at the exit of turn 8. While both Cordier and Pressy got the DRS, neither was close enough to make a move on Thomas, but incredibly, Pressy managed to squeeze past Cordier for P8 on the run to the line with just 15 thousandths of a second between them after Sutton scored his first victory of the season. In the championship, Peter Mann's second place finish and Nicolas Morales' lack of points in Turkey means they are now level on points, with Morales still leading on countback. While there were no changes of position in the top 5, it's all tightened up quite a bit, with just 25 points between the leaders and Chandler Sutton after his win in Turkey. The big movement of the week came from Cabanes though. His podium moves him from 9th up to 6th, with just 17 points between himself and Pressy in 11th.